Hello again, my name is Tony Hilliard. Today's video is about repairing log burning stove that is built into your home. Here in France that is called an insert fire or enserre. Now usually wood burning stoves are freestanding. They stand away from a wall or need to repair them. It's comparatively easy. But for some strange reason they started to become fashionable as a built-in unit. The built-in fire in this video was already fitted when we bought our house, so I was particularly keen to make sure it was done correctly. If you look at YouTube, you will find loads of videos of how to change the door seals or how to change the special heat-proof glass, but beyond that, you're on your own. It is strange how in the world of industrial design, the designers are never the people who are going to get their hands dirty repairing their brainchild. I've come to the conclusion anything more complicated than seals or glass replacement, the manufacturer and their agents just want you to buy a complete new unit and get them to fit it. Good for their business, but not so good for the house owner. After repairing our fire and making this video, I've come to the conclusion that built-in insert wood burning fires are a really bad idea. First, an explanation of some of the parts of a wood burning fire. The fire itself is normally inside a cast iron box called the firebox. At the top of the firebox, where it joins the chimney, there is a flap or valve that controls the hot air from the firebox as it goes into the chimney. This is called the damper. At the bottom of the firebox, there is a controllable vent to let cold air in to allow the fire to burn. Simple enough, you would imagine. You need all these parts working correctly to allow your fire to burn. It's not unlike the basic principle of a carburettor on your car. Any problems you can have usually involve one or the other of the parts above leaking or seizing up. In the case of our fire, the door was not sealing correctly and the damper was rusted solid, so the fire would burn after a fashion, but you had absolutely no control over it. So let me show you how I got on. This is the fireplace we're going to be working on. This door has two ways of opening. There's a lock on one side, you twist it and it swings out to the left. Or you lock that and you should be able to lift it up. It's on a counterbalance. On this fire, the door kept jamming as you tried to open it. The cable kept coming off the pulleys. As you can see, this is the right hand side. There is no access to that fire at all. This is the left hand side. Short of cutting everything open, you've got no chance. This is the supposed control for the damper in the chimney. Barbie's first attempt, I think. Good idea, but this sort of work to make sure you cover everything up, because the dust is going to be unbelievable. Plenty of plastic all round. This is the right hand side. This is one of the vents to allow the hot air out. This is the only way you can see anything in there. This is inside, as you say, not a lot of space to do any work. So we need to have a look up inside. I've taken the panels out. And now if I point the camera up, you can see there's a bar, a shaft there, and two pulleys with cables, and they've got a large cast iron counterweight on there. Fine when it's working, but there's no access to repair anything. So what I did, that's the counterbalance weight. I put a loop on each end of it, put an iron bar through, and then tried opening the door, and it's now that iron bar is supporting the counterweight. So we'll lift this up as far as we can, and you'll be able to see the counterweight move it, or trying to move, and then the cable coming free. You've got to get that shaft out and the pulleys off there. So block up the sliding door, and I'll just put a crowbar in there. You can see how loose those pulleys are. Those are supposed to be a nice fit on that shaft. And I managed to get an angle grinder up in there with one arm and cut the bar out with the two pulleys on. You can see by the marks there where the cable has come off the pulley and started to try and cut through the bar. And that pulley is supposed to be a nice fit on that shaft. So I took it all apart, took the pulley wheels out, decided to bore them out and try and insert a piece of steel tube that just fits over the bar. This is my ancient Colchester Master, 1940 model. Just try the piece of tube that I've cut down just to see if it goes in. No, a little bit too tight, a little bit more to come out. Gently, gently, we don't want to take too much out. Try it again. Yep, that's going to go in there nicely. Nice snug fit. So we'll pop that out of the chuck, insert the tube right the way through, and that's what we want to produce, 2 of those. So in place, I'm going to tack weld them, and then once the tacks are in place and it looks okay, I'll run a bead of weld around both sides. End result, not the prettiest thing, but absolutely solid, and that's going to work. Now I've managed to get the bar and the cables all fitted in there, but the space is so tight I can't get my welding helmet in there. So I'm going to have to try and weld the bar into position, get the welding torch in the right place, shut my eyes and weld it while I've got my eyes shut. Fortunately it worked. No space at all. Right, new pulley fitted. Do a little test. Counterbalance weight going up and down. Door going up and down. That's what it should have been doing in the first place. Not quite concentric, but pretty damn close. Right, the other side I had to cut out the stonework to try and get to the damper shaft with its wonderful system of pulleys and things. I had to drill a hole, re-drill the hole right the way through, right through the chimney, right out the other side. Then I put a shaft right the way through, clamped the damper in position, replaced the stonework, and decided to have the shaft sticking straight out the side rather than the silly little pulley system. Then I put a lever on there, welded that into position, and there's a direct shaft to operate the damper. So finally, what a nightmare. Finally, yes, all works nicely, all nicely counterbalanced. All the seals are done.
Well, I hope you found this video helpful. Until next time, cheerio!